December 6th, 2014, a music teacher found dead by her son. December 15th, an elderly Austin couple killed, discovered by a caretaker, all murdered in their own homes. Crimes police believe started as burglaries.
You don't really expect something like this to happen in this area.
One of the men arrested in connection to the deaths has a history of burglary, a crime Austin police know well, 25% above the national average. Repeated enough, Austin's police chief says it can lead to violence, even death.
Too often our jurors don't see this as a crime where people belong in prison.
We started digging after Chief Art Acevedo made that comment and found juries don't often get the chance to dole out long prison sentences for these criminals.
Investigator Robert Maxwell found most often burglars are able to bargain their way out much sooner in Travis County.
Peggy Hill returned home one evening a couple years ago to a surprise no homeowner wants.
And you come home, and what do you see in here?
And I see a couple cop cars at down the street. Apparently, he had gotten in and they had bent the framing right here, and it was like bowed out.
Alert neighbors called police, who nabbed this man trying to leave the community.
I just knew that if he had done it to me and he'd done it to someone else, he's going to do it again. Yeah, it's going to be another repeat offense.
It wasn't the first time Jason de los Santos had been in trouble. Prison records show a string of short sentences going back 6 years for home and vehicle burglaries, as well as multiple convictions for criminal trespass and property thefts. In May of 2012, after his crimes started stacking up, Travis County jurors sentenced de los Santos to prison again, this time for 12 years. Some of the worst burglary reoffenders local juries convicted in the last few years are these men who broke into someone's private property, then beat up the homeowners while looking for drugs and money, sexually assaulted a hotel maid after choking her, attempted to rape a homeowner in her own bed. Travis County's district attorney recognizes how burglaries are especially frightening because of their potential to turn violent.
It's clear to me that juries get it, that home burglary is dangerous, particularly if someone is a repeat offender or habitual offender. They're going to impose strong sentences in prison.
We checked, and between 2006 and 2014, Travis County juries convicted 41 repeat burglars. The average sentence, 30 years in prison. Prosecutors, though, handle the majority of repeat burglary cases by striking plea deals. In fact, last year, we counted 89 defendants who the DA's office felt were less of a public safety risk. It sent them to prison for an average 6 years.
We can't try every case because we're taking in between 11 and 12,000 felonies every year of all types. Most of the home burglary cases are willing to plead guilty, and that leaves us free to try aggravated robberies and aggravated sexual assaults.
Austin Police Chief Art Acevedo points out burglars sometimes plead down all the way to probation, which can put a criminal back on the street in months.
That's frustrating for you.
It is, because it makes it challenging. You know, if a person gets probation that we tie into a multitude of property crime, they don't just walk up the courtroom and find, you know, God and give up that life of crime.
What else has to happen, though, to make sure that burglary doesn't become your most problematic issue?
Well, it is one of our most problematic issues. I think that the last thing that we really got to work on is, because we are such a safe city in terms of violent crime, that sometimes folks are lulled into a false sense of security. If you don't take your safety seriously, sooner or later, you're going to be victimized.
Well, Peggy Hill is grateful the man who broke into her home has been put away. She says she still feels less secure than before.
It's just the worst kind of violation.
It really is, because you have to wonder if they're going to come back, you know?
We also took a look over the last 2 years to see if there was a burglary trend with the city's convicted murderers and murder suspects. Turns out very few of the more than 40 names we looked at had burglary history, so not a gateway crime in those cases. But Robert, our burglary investigation does not stop there.
That's right. You're back here on KXAN News tomorrow night at 10 o'clock to talk about some very tech-savvy crooks.
Right, stealing your stuff and selling it through social media. Turns out it's a growing problem Austin police are confronting right now.
All right, Robert, thanks very much. Online now, check out our case file feature with those convicted Travis County burglars sent to prison the longest and their crimes. Plus, follow the process step by step, how repeat burglars end up behind bars. It's all in this story in the investigative section at KXAN.com. Remember, if you have something you want us to investigate, email us at report@KXAN.com.